Welcome to the Geography of Turkey 2, Human and Economic Geography of Turkey course. In this lesson, we will explore fundamental insights into the natural factors that influence the geographic distribution of the population in Turkey. Please feel free to share your questions and insights through the eCampus platform or via email. The factors influencing the distribution of population and settlements in Turkey include 1. Topography and relief. Turkey's diverse topography, which includes mountains, plateaus, and lowlands, plays a crucial role in settlement patterns. Coastal areas and fertile valleys are more densely populated, while mountainous regions are sparsely populated. 2. Climate and water resources. Climate conditions, especially the availability of water, influence settlement patterns. Coastal areas with milder climates and access to water sources tend to have higher populations. In contrast, arid or harsh climates may limit settlement. 3. Economic activities. Economic opportunities, including agriculture, industry, and services, affect where people choose to live. Urban areas with employment prospects attract a larger population. 4. Transportation and infrastructure. Access to transportation networks, such as roads, railways, and ports, is critical for the distribution of the population. Well-connected regions tend to be more populated. 5. Historical and cultural factors. Historical events, traditions, and cultural factors can impact settlement patterns. Some regions have historical significance or cultural appeal, attracting residents. 6. Government policies. Government policies and incentives, such as promoting urbanization or agricultural development, can influence population distribution. 7. Natural hazards and safety. Areas prone to natural disasters like earthquakes or floods may have lower populations due to safety concerns. 8. Resource availability. Regions with natural resources like minerals, forests, or fertile soil often have more extensive settlements. 9. Educational and healthcare facilities. The presence of schools, universities, and healthcare facilities can attract populations to specific areas. 10. Political and administrative centers. Capital cities and administrative centers tend to have higher populations due to government-related activities. 11. Migration. Internal and international migration patterns can significantly impact population distribution, with people moving to areas with better opportunities and living conditions. 12. Tourism. Regions with tourism potential can have seasonal or year-round population increases due to tourist activities. 13. Conflict and security. Areas affected by conflict or security concerns may have lower populations as people move away to safer locations. Understanding these factors helps in comprehending why people choose to settle in certain regions of Turkey while avoiding others. Geographic, economic, cultural, and historical considerations all play a role in shaping population distribution and settlement patterns in the country. Natural or physical factors affecting the distribution of population and settlement in Turkey include various environmental and geographical elements that shape where people choose to live and build communities. These factors significantly impact the spatial distribution of the population across the country. Here are some of the key natural factors. 1. Topography and relief. The diverse topography of Turkey, characterized by mountains, plateaus, valleys, and coastal plains, plays a vital role in population distribution. Coastal areas and lowland valleys are more densely populated due to their milder climates, fertile soils, and accessibility. 2. Climate and weather patterns. Climate conditions, including temperature, precipitation, and seasonal variations, influence the attractiveness of regions for settlement. Coastal areas with milder climates are more appealing to residents, while harsh or arid climates may deter settlement. 3. Water resources. Availability of water resources, such as rivers and lakes, is a significant factor. Areas with abundant freshwater sources tend to have higher population concentrations, while arid regions may have fewer inhabitants. 4. Natural hazards. The susceptibility to natural disasters, such as earthquakes, floods, or landslides, can impact where people choose to live. Areas prone to frequent hazards may have lower populations due to safety concerns. 5. Soil fertility. The quality of soil for agriculture is essential. Fertile soils are attractive for settlement and farming, while regions with poor soil quality may have fewer residents. 6. Vegetation and ecosystems. The presence of forests, woodlands, and diverse ecosystems can influence settlement. People are often drawn to areas with rich biodiversity and natural beauty. 7. Altitude and temperature. The altitude of a location affects temperature and climate. Higher altitudes tend to have cooler temperatures, impacting the choice of settlement for residents who prefer cooler climates. 8. Seismic activity. The level of seismic activity in an area, especially in regions prone to earthquakes, can influence population distribution. High-risk seismic zones may have lower populations due to safety concerns. 9. Availability of natural resources. Regions with valuable natural resources such as minerals, forests, or fisheries may attract more residents due to economic opportunities. 10. Accessibility and transportation. Areas with good transportation infrastructure, including road networks and proximity to ports, may have larger populations due to increased connectivity. 11. Air quality. Air quality and environmental pollution levels can affect the appeal of an area for settlement. Cleaner air and lower pollution levels are often preferred. 12. Coastal location. Coastal regions have the advantage of maritime climates and access to the sea, making them attractive for settlement, trade, and tourism. 13. Wind patterns. Prevailing wind patterns can influence factors such as air quality, climate, and environmental conditions, impacting population distribution. These natural factors, among others, play a crucial role in determining where people choose to live and build communities in Turkey. Understanding these elements is essential for planning and development, as they shape the geographic distribution of the population and have implications for resource management and infrastructure development. Landforms are critical natural factors influencing the distribution of population and settlements in Turkey. They encompass a wide range of physical characteristics that shape the country's geography. Here is a closer look at how these landforms impact population distribution. 1. Extensions of mountains. Mountain ranges and their extensions significantly affect where people settle. Coastal mountains often create a barrier between the sea and inland areas, leading to more concentrated populations along coastal plains and valleys. 2. Slope angle. The steepness of the terrain, influenced by slope angle, determines the suitability of an area for settlement. Low-angle slopes are more conducive to building and agriculture, while steep slopes are less populated. 3. Aspect. The aspect, or the direction a slope faces, affects its exposure to sunlight and prevailing winds. South-facing slopes receive more direct sunlight and are often more populated and favorable for agriculture. 4. Elevation. Elevation plays a vital role in temperature variations and climate. High-altitude areas are generally cooler, influencing the choice of settlement. Lower elevations near coasts and valleys tend to be more populated. 5. Climate. Landforms can create microclimates, where local topography influences weather patterns. Valleys may be cooler due to temperature inversions, while mountain slopes can experience different microclimates. 6. Water sources. Landforms impact the availability of water sources. Settlements often develop near rivers, lakes, and groundwater, as these water sources are essential for sustenance and agriculture. 7. Distribution of lands and seas. Coastal landforms are particularly attractive for settlement due to their maritime climates and access to the sea for trade and transportation. 8. Geological features. The geological composition of landforms can impact soil quality and fertility. Areas with suitable geological features for agriculture tend to be more populated. 9. Vegetation. Landforms influence the types of vegetation that grow in an area. Areas with fertile soil and suitable terrain support agriculture and are more likely to be inhabited. 10. Natural resources. Specific landforms may harbor valuable natural resources, such as minerals, forests, or fisheries, which can drive settlement and economic activities. Understanding these landforms is crucial for urban and regional planning, as they determine the suitability of different areas for habitation and economic activities. The interplay of these factors contributes to the diverse population distribution across Turkey. A landform is a natural or anthropogenic land feature on the solid surface of the Earth or other planetary body. Landforms together make up a given terrain, and their arrangement in the landscape is known as topography. Landforms include hills, mountains, canyons, and valleys, as well as shoreline features such as bays, peninsulas, and seas, including submerged features such as mid-ocean ridges, volcanoes, and the Great Ocean basins. A landform is a feature on Earth's surface that is part of the terrain. Mountains, hills, plateaus, and plains are the four major types of landforms. Oceans and continents exemplify the highest order landforms. Citation needed. Landform elements are parts of a high-order landforms that can be further identified and systematically given a cohesive definition, such as hilltops, shoulders, saddles, foreslopes and backslopes. Some generic landform elements including pits, peaks, channels, ridges, passes, pools and plains. Terrain, or relief, is the third or vertical dimension of land surface. Topography is the study of terrain, although the word is often used as a synonym for relief itself. When relief is described underwater, the term bathymetry is used. In cartography, many different techniques are used to describe relief, including contour lines and triangulated irregular networks. Elementary landforms, segments, facets, relief units, are the smallest homogeneous divisions of the land surface, at the given scale/resolution. These are areas with relatively homogeneous morphometric properties, bounded by lines of discontinuity. A plateau or a hill can be observed at various scales, ranging from a few hundred meters to hundreds of kilometers. Hence, the spatial distribution of landforms is often scale-dependent, as is the case for soils and geological strata. A number of factors, ranging from plate tectonics to erosion and deposition, also due to human activity, can generate and affect landforms. Biological factors can also influence landforms. For example, note the role of vegetation in the development of dune systems and salt marshes, and the work of corals and algae in the formation of coral reefs. Landforms do not include several man-made features, such as canals, ports and many harbors, and geographic features, such as deserts, forests, and grasslands. Many of the terms are not restricted to refer to features of the planet Earth, and can be used to describe surface features of other planets and similar objects in the universe. Examples are mountains, hills, polar caps, and valleys, which are found on all of the terrestrial planets. The scientific study of landforms is known as geomorphology. In onomastic terminology, toponyms, geographical proper names, of individual landform objects, mountains, hills, valleys, etc., are called oronyms. The east-west orientation of our mountains poses several geographical challenges. 1. Transportation barriers. The mountain ranges act as natural barriers, making transportation between coastal and inland areas more challenging. Roads and railways often need to navigate through rugged terrain, which can slow down and complicate transportation networks. 2. Marine effect obstruction. These mountains hinder the penetration of the marine effect into the interior. Coastal regions typically benefit from more moderate climates influenced by the sea, whereas the inland areas may experience more extreme temperature variations. 3. Population distribution. Given the advantages of coastal regions, such as milder climates, access to the sea, and fertile coastal plains, it's common to find higher population densities along the coasts. Coastal cities and towns often serve as economic and cultural hubs. These geographical features significantly impact settlement patterns and economic activities in the country. The challenges posed by east-west mountain ranges have shaped how people have historically distributed themselves across Turkey, favoring the coastal areas as primary centers of population and economic development. Coastal regions in Turkey enjoy a more favorable climate compared to mountainous areas. The milder climate along the coasts is attributed to several factors, including proximity to the sea, which helps moderate temperatures. As a result, 1. Mild climate. Coastal areas experience milder and more temperate climates. The moderating influence of the sea prevents extreme temperature variations, making these regions more comfortable for habitation. 2. Ease of transportation. The relatively flat terrain along the coasts facilitates transportation. Roads and railways can be built with greater ease in these areas, which in turn promotes economic activities and trade. 3. Economic opportunities. Coastal regions provide economic opportunities, especially in sectors such as fishing, shipping, tourism, and agriculture. The sea offers a valuable resource for trade and transportation. As a result of these factors, plateaus and plains located at elevations below 1,000 meters above sea level tend to be more densely populated. The accessibility, better climate, and economic prospects along the coast have driven settlement patterns in Turkey, with a higher concentration of people in these areas. Plains are considered some of the most favorable places for human habitation due to several reasons. 1. Rich and suitable for economic activity, plains typically offer fertile soil and open, level terrain that is conducive to agriculture. This makes them ideal for farming and other economic activities. People in plains often have access to abundant natural resources and can engage in various economic pursuits. 2. Ideal climate. Plains often have more moderate climates compared to high-altitude areas or mountainous regions. They are less prone to extreme temperature variations and may receive more consistent precipitation, which can be beneficial for agriculture and human comfort. As a result of these advantages, approximately 70% of Turkey's population resides in plains, reflecting the strong connection between settlement patterns and the geographical features of these areas. You've summarized the advantages of plain landforms well. 1. Easier transportation. The flat terrain of plain landforms facilitates transportation, making it more accessible and cost-effective for both people and goods. 2. Ease of harvesting. Plains are typically fertile and suitable for agriculture. This makes harvesting crops and cultivating food resources more efficient. 3. Fertility. Plain landforms are known for their rich and fertile soil, which is ideal for agricultural productivity and supporting plant growth. 4. Suitable for human settlement. The flat nature of plains makes them favorable for human habitation. They provide comfortable living conditions and convenient spaces for building settlements. 5. Safety from natural disasters. Plains are less prone to certain natural disasters, such as landslides and avalanches, which are more common in high and inclined landforms. 6. Industrial development. The availability of space and resources in plains makes them suitable for industrial development and establishment of manufacturing facilities. These advantages contribute to the appeal of plain landforms for human settlement, agriculture, and economic activities. You've added more advantages and considerations related to plain landforms. 7. Mining opportunities. Plain landforms often contain valuable mineral resources, making mining activities easier and more productive. 8. Abundant water resources. The flat terrain of plains allows for the easy access and availability of water resources, which are crucial for various purposes, including agriculture and industrial processes. 9. Geothermal potential. Plains can have a high geothermal potential, making them suitable for harnessing geothermal energy for heating and electricity generation. 10. Ease of settlement. Setting up human settlements and infrastructure is straightforward on plains due to the even topography, which simplifies construction and urban planning. 11. Milder climate. Plain landforms generally have more moderate climates, which can be favorable for both human comfort and agricultural productivity. 12. Earthquake risk. While plains offer many advantages, they can also be vulnerable to earthquake-related risks, so proper earthquake preparedness and construction practices are essential. These additional points emphasize the diverse factors that influence the attractiveness and suitability of plain landforms for various human activities and development. There is a good summary of the relationship between slope, roughness, and land use. Flat areas, or plains, tend to be more densely populated because their even terrain makes transportation and agriculture more accessible and manageable. Steeper slopes and rough terrain can present challenges for various activities, limiting their suitability for settlement and economic development. Southern slopes of mountains receive more sunlight and warmth, making them more habitable and suitable for agriculture. Additionally, sea-facing slopes often experience milder climates due to the moderating effect of the sea, making them attractive for settlement. These factors contribute to higher population densities in such areas. The distribution of the population in Turkey is influenced by a variety of factors, including both natural and human-related elements. While natural factors such as landforms and climate play a significant role, human activities like industry, agriculture, mining, transportation, and tourism also impact population distribution. In terms of natural factors, regions with rugged landforms like northeastern Anatolia, southeastern Anatolia, southwest Anatolia, and the northwest corner have low population densities. These areas are characterized by challenging terrain. The Tuz Lake region, on the other hand, has sparse population due to inadequate water resources. Human activities have contributed to population distribution as well. Industrial cities like Istanbul, Adapazarı, Izmit, Bursa, Eskişehir, Izmir, Kayseri, Konya, and mining cities such as Zonguldak, Elbistan, Manisa, and Batman have attracted populations due to their respective economic activities. Additionally, cities like Antalya, Muğla, and Aydın have become densely populated thanks to their thriving tourism sectors. These combined natural and human factors have shaped the distribution of the population in various regions of Turkey.
Tectonic plains are flat or gently sloping land areas that result from tectonic processes, particularly the interaction of Earth's lithospheric plates. These plains are created through geological activities such as sedimentation, faulting, and subsidence. Tectonic plains can take various forms, including coastal plains, river floodplains, and continental plains. Coastal plains are often found at the boundaries of continents and oceans, and they can result from the subsidence of land areas or the deposition of sediments by rivers and ocean currents. River floodplains are created by the deposition of sediments carried by rivers during periodic flooding. Continental plains, also known as continental shields, are vast, flat regions that make up the ancient cores of continents. These plains are dynamic geological features that continue to evolve over time due to tectonic movements, erosion, and sedimentation. Tectonic plains can be important for agriculture, urban development, and various human activities due to their relatively flat terrain. There is indeed a direct relationship between the distribution of the population and fault lines in Turkey. Many of Turkey's major cities and densely populated regions are located in areas where fault lines are present. This distribution is influenced by the natural geography of the country, including the availability of fertile plains and valleys created by tectonic processes. However, it's important to note that Turkey is located in a seismically active region due to the interactions of the Eurasian Plate, the Arabian Plate, and the African Plate. This geological setting makes Turkey prone to earthquakes, as it is situated along several active fault lines, such as the North Anatolian Fault Zone and the East Anatolian Fault Zone. The presence of a significant population in these regions does indeed pose earthquake risks, and the Turkish government, as well as local authorities, are well aware of these challenges. Efforts are made to improve building codes, disaster preparedness, and public awareness to mitigate the potential impact of earthquakes. Despite the inherent seismic risks, the fertile lands and economic opportunities in these areas continue to attract people and settlements. Balancing the advantages of these regions with earthquake preparedness remains a significant challenge for Turkey. There is a general relationship between elevation and temperature. As elevation increases, temperatures tend to decrease due to the lapse rate, which causes a drop in temperature with increasing altitude in the troposphere. This temperature change can affect the suitability for agriculture. In Turkey, elevation generally increases from west to east, particularly as you move from the coastal areas towards the interior. The eastern part of Anatolia has higher mountain ranges and plateaus, which are at higher elevations compared to the western regions. The higher elevations can result in cooler temperatures, especially during the winter months, which may limit the types of crops that can be grown in those areas. This, in turn, can influence population distribution. While the eastern part of Anatolia may have limitations for certain types of agriculture due to its elevation and climate, other factors also play a role in the population distribution, including economic opportunities, industrial development, and access to infrastructure. Balancing these factors is essential for understanding the distribution of the population across Turkey and addressing regional development challenges. You are correct that regions with sufficient rainfall and moderate temperatures are more suitable for settlement and tend to have higher population densities. Coastal areas, in particular, often benefit from milder climates due to the tempering influence of the ocean. This makes them attractive for human habitation, agriculture, and various economic activities. In Turkey, coastal regions like the Mediterranean and Aegean coasts are known for their favorable climate conditions, and they are more densely populated compared to some inland and eastern areas. These coastal regions also benefit from more consistent and reliable sources of precipitation, which supports agriculture and other industries. The distribution of the population is indeed influenced by a complex interplay of factors, including climate, geography, economic opportunities, and infrastructure development. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for effective urban and regional planning and addressing the needs of different areas within the country. Water has always been a vital resource for human settlement and development. Throughout history, many early human settlements were established near rivers, lakes, and other water sources because of the essential role water plays in daily life. Access to water is crucial for drinking, sanitation, agriculture, transportation, and industrial activities. It provides the foundation for life and economic development. In the case of Anatolia, the presence of several major rivers, such as the Tigris and Euphrates in the southeastern region, the Sakarya in the northwest, and the Büyük Menderes in the western part, has been a driving factor in the location of settlements and the development of ancient civilizations. Water availability remains a key factor in the distribution of population and economic activities in modern times as well. Many cities and regions around the world continue to rely on proximity to reliable water sources for their sustenance and growth.
Indeed, many of Turkey's large cities and populated areas are strategically located near surface water sources. This has been a common trend throughout history, and it offers several advantages. 1. Easier transportation and trade. Proximity to water bodies, such as seas, rivers, and lakes, historically facilitated transportation and trade. Waterways provided efficient routes for the movement of goods, allowing for the exchange of commodities and cultural influences. 2. Access to food supply. Water bodies often support rich ecosystems, providing a reliable food supply. Rivers and seas can be a source of fish, and the fertile land around rivers is suitable for agriculture. Access to these resources contributed to the development of settlements and towns. 3. Natural barrier, being located near water sources offered natural protection against attacks. Bodies of water, especially rivers, acted as natural barriers that could deter invaders or make it more difficult for them to approach a settlement. 4. Water for drinking and irrigation. Water is essential for drinking and agriculture. Settlements located near water sources had a reliable supply of fresh water for the population and for irrigation, which enabled agricultural productivity. Turkey's geography, with its extensive coastline and numerous rivers, has played a significant role in shaping the distribution of population and the growth of cities. The historic importance of these waterways continues to influence the development and settlement patterns in the country. The availability of water resources indeed plays a significant role in determining settlement patterns and textures. Different regions of Turkey exhibit varying settlement patterns based on their access to water resources. 1. Central regions of Turkey. In the central regions of Turkey, where water resources might be scarcer, you are more likely to find collective settlements. These areas may have one or a few central water sources that support the needs of multiple communities. 2. Eastern Black Sea region of Turkey. In contrast, the Eastern Black Sea region of Turkey, with its abundant rainfall and many rivers, allows for a more scattered pattern of settlements. The presence of numerous water resources throughout the region facilitates dispersed habitation. The relationship between water availability and settlement patterns is a key aspect of human geography. It showcases how geographical features, such as climate and topography, can influence the way people establish communities and organize their lives to meet basic needs like water, food, and shelter. The geological structure of an area can significantly influence the patterns and locations of settlements. Here are some key ways in which geological factors impact human settlements. 1. Topography and terrain. The geological structure, including the type of rocks and landforms, affects the topography of an area. Steep or rugged terrains may discourage settlement, as they can make construction and transportation difficult. In contrast, flatter or gently sloping terrains are often more suitable for building and agriculture. 2. Natural resources. Geological formations can contain valuable natural resources like minerals, ores, and fossil fuels. Settlements often emerge near areas rich in these resources to facilitate extraction and processing, which, in turn, can drive economic development. 3. Water sources. The geological structure can influence the availability and location of water sources such as rivers, aquifers, and lakes. Settlements tend to develop near dependable water sources to meet daily needs for drinking, agriculture, and industry. 4. Soil fertility. The geological composition of the soil in an area can impact its fertility for agriculture. Regions with fertile soil are more likely to support agricultural communities and denser populations. 5. Seismic activity. Areas with geological faults and seismic activity may face higher risks from earthquakes. This can affect settlement planning, building design, and population density to minimize potential damage and loss of life. 6. Coastal areas. Coastal geological features, such as the type of coastline, rocky, sandy, and tides, can influence the development of ports, fishing villages, and tourist destinations. 7. Building materials. The types of rocks and minerals present in the geological structure can provide suitable building materials. Settlements may emerge near sources of quality stone, clay, or other construction materials. 8. Cave dwellings. In some geological settings, caves formed by natural processes offer suitable shelter and have been used as dwellings by human populations. 9. Geothermal energy. Regions with geothermal activity can harness this energy source for heating and power generation, leading to settlements near these resources. Overall, the geological structure of an area interacts with climate, water availability, and the presence of natural resources to shape the location, size, and development of human settlements.
Limestone is a hard, grey, sedimentary rock largely composed of calcium carbonate. It was formed under the sea from the remains of organic matter such as seashells and plants. Limestone rock is characterized by vertical cracks called joints and horizontal cracks called bedding planes. Limestone is said to be a pervious rock as it allows water to flow through the joints and bedding planes. The main process that weathers limestone is known as carbonation. Since limestone is made up of calcium carbonate, it is a suitable candidate for carbonation. When atmospheric carbon dioxide is dissolved in rainwater, it forms carbonic acid. When it rains, the carbonic acid comes into contact with the limestone, and some of the water percolates through the joints and bedding planes. The carbonic acid reacts with the limestone to form the soluble compound called calcium bicarbonate. This is then washed away in solution with streams and rainwater gradually weathering the limestone. The more water and carbon dioxide present, the higher the rate in which limestone dissolves. Carbon dioxide is found in higher concentrations in the gaps in the soil than in the atmosphere due to soil microbes generating carbon dioxide. When rainwater percolates through the porous soil, the carbon dioxide reacts with the water to produce higher quantities of carbonic acid. Some of the best developed karst landscapes are in tropical Southeast Asia and subtropical southern China, where there are high levels of rainfall. Warm temperatures and lush vegetation here results in high concentrations of carbon dioxide. Thus, the ideal conditions for carbonation to take place. The South China karst covers 600,000 square kilometres and is characterised by pinnacle karst known as shellin or stone forest, some of the world's largest cave systems, and spectacular tower karst. The development of tower karst requires a minimum of 120 centimetres of precipitation per year and an average temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. The process of water dissolving rocks like limestone is known as karstification. This process produces a karst landscape. Karst landscapes can be found all over the world and at varying altitudes. These pancake rocks at Purnakariki in New Zealand's South Island are at sea level. They can be contrasted to this high altitude karst landscape in Sichuan, China. There are a number of features that characterise karst landscapes. Karst landscapes are most famous for the cave systems that have been hollowed out by the action of underground streams and by carbonation in solution. Caves are characterised by formations known as speleotherms, which develop where water percolating through the rock deposits calcite over thousands of years. Speleotherms include stalactites, which hang down from the cave ceiling, stalagmites, which grow from the cave floor up. Sometimes a stalactite and a stalagmite will join together to form a pillar. The most common types of speleotherm is called a flowstone, which forms where water runs down the walls or along cave floors. Another speleotherm formation is ribstone, which takes the shape of a stone dam and forms where water has deposited calcite beside a pool or a stream. These unique examples of rimstone pools in Huanglong, China are unusual as they have formed in an alpine valley rather than inside a cave. In karst landscapes, many rivers and streams disappear underground and flow through the limestone, carving out caverns until they reach impermeable rock layers. At this point, the water will flow under the limestone until it re-emerges at the surface. The place where an underground stream re-emerges is called a resurgence. Sinkholes or dolines are topographic depressions in the limestone. Sinkholes vary in size, from 2 to 100 metres deep and from 10 metres to 1 kilometre in diameter. Some sinkholes are formed when a cave ceiling collapses, while others form when natural fractures have been enlarged by solution. Due to the permeable nature of the rock and extensive subterranean drainage in karst landscapes, dry valleys that have no surface streams may develop. Another feature often found in a karst region is a large basin that has a flat floor, steep walls, but no outflowing stream on the surface. This basin is called a polder. They are formed by the union of several sinkholes, and can have walls up to 100 metres in height. Lake Disappear, near Aotea Harbour on New Zealand's west coast, is a polder that is drained by an underground stream. When there is heavy rain, the stream does not drain fast enough, so it fills up with water to become a lake. In dry periods, the lake drains away and disappears. Sometimes the ceiling of a large underground cavern falls in to create a steep-sided gorge with a river running in the bottom. In this example from New Zealand, part of the ceiling remained to create an arch, but downstream is a steep-sided gorge. Cliffs that exist at the edge of the area of limestone are called scars. Notice that the cliffs featured here have an almost 90-degree angle and are highly jointed. Curran is a general term used to describe the various small-scale solution features of limestone. Curran features are particularly common on limestone pavement, which are large areas of exposed limestone rock. Limestone pavement is characteristically divided into large slabs of rock called clints, separated by deep vertical fissures called grikes. These grikes have developed by weathering and intensified solution processes along the joints in the limestone. Channels called runnels are eroded out of the limestone surface, which drains into the grikes. Pits formed by solution processes can also be found on the top of the clints.
Karstic lands are characterized by distinctive geological features, such as sinkholes, caves, and underground drainage systems. These features often lead to a scarcity of surface water, which can indeed have a negative impact on agriculture and, subsequently, population density. Here are some key points related to karstic lands in Turkey. 1. Limited surface water. Karstic regions typically lack significant surface water bodies like rivers and lakes. The porous nature of karstic terrain allows water to infiltrate into the ground, often leading to the formation of underground aquifers and caves. While this can create unique natural landscapes, it can also make water less accessible for irrigation and other agricultural needs. 2. Challenges for agriculture. The limited availability of surface water in karstic lands can present challenges for agriculture. Farmers in these areas may need to rely on wells, springs, or other sources of groundwater for irrigation. Additionally, the nature of karstic geology can result in water shortages during dry periods. 3. Impact on population. The scarcity of surface water and potential challenges for agriculture can limit the attractiveness of karstic lands for human settlement. As a result, population density in these areas may be relatively low compared to regions with more abundant water resources. 4. Unique landscapes. Despite the limitations related to surface water, karstic landscapes are known for their unique and striking features, including sinkholes, limestone formations, and cave systems. These natural attractions can draw tourists and researchers to the area, contributing to local economies. 5. Environmental significance. Karstic regions often have valuable ecosystems and biodiversity. They can serve as important natural habitats and are essential for maintaining groundwater quality and availability. In summary, karstic lands in Turkey are characterized by limited surface water resources due to their geological features. While this can pose challenges for agriculture and result in relatively low population density, these areas have their own unique environmental and geological significance, which may be of interest for tourism and conservation efforts. The presence of fertile soil is indeed a critical factor in determining the suitability of a region for agriculture and human settlement. Fertile soil provides essential nutrients for crop growth and supports robust agricultural activities, which, in turn, can have a significant impact on population distribution. Here are some key points related to the influence of fertile soil on population distribution. 1. Agricultural productivity. Fertile soil contains a rich supply of essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are crucial for plant growth. As a result, regions with fertile soil can support high agricultural productivity, leading to bountiful harvests of crops and increased food production. 2. Sustainable agriculture. Fertile soil contributes to the sustainability of agriculture in a region. Farmers can grow a variety of crops with reduced dependency on synthetic fertilizers, promoting environmentally friendly and cost-effective farming practices. 3. Food supply. The availability of fertile soil ensures a stable and abundant food supply. This is essential for the well-being and survival of the local population. Regions with fertile soil can often support larger communities due to their ability to produce surplus food. 4. Economic opportunities. Agriculture in areas with fertile soil can provide economic opportunities for the local population. It generates employment, income, and trade opportunities, contributing to the overall well-being and prosperity of the community. 5. Settlement and urbanization. The presence of fertile soil can encourage the establishment of permanent settlements in urban areas. Larger populations can be sustained due to the agricultural surplus, leading to the growth of towns and cities. 6. Historical significance. Many ancient civilizations, such as those in Mesopotamia and the Nile River Valley, developed around fertile river valleys with rich soil. These regions became centers of cultural and historical significance. 7. Infrastructure development. Areas with fertile soil are often prioritized for infrastructure development, such as irrigation systems, transportation networks, and storage facilities. These developments can further support agriculture and improve living conditions. In summary, fertile soil plays a crucial role in supporting agriculture, which, in turn, influences population distribution. Regions with fertile soil are more likely to sustain higher population densities due to their capacity for abundant food production, economic opportunities, and historical significance. This highlights the interconnected relationship between soil fertility, agriculture, and human settlement patterns.